What's up, everybody? This is Noah from the All Things Today podcast. I am your host, and I am here with my wonderful co-hosts, Keith and J-Bomb. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Keith. I'm Deputy. I didn't want to do Awkward Silence today, so I'm actually being kind of professional and cool because last week I got a little bit out of hand. But I can't say like an hour later I won't be back to that, so whatever.
Who knows? It happens. We're full of awkward stuff.
Oh, yeah.
J-Bomb?
I'm Jack, J-Bomb, head part of the J-Bomb recap for Mountain Honors Democracy. That's me.
Right on, guys. And just for those of you who didn't know or don't follow our Facebook or anything of the sort, we have a special guest this week. He's actually our National Vice President of Mountain Honors Democracy, one of the gracious sponsors of this show.
And Noah's uncle.
Yeah, actual uncle.
Yeah.
It is Sean, a.k.a. Skinner.
Skinner!
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Skinner!
I'm Sean, a.k.a. Skinner, Vice President of the National Vice President of Mountain Artist Democracy Entertainment Club. Also the lead vocalist for Hangman's Ghost, a Mountain Artist Democracy endorsed artist, or band, excuse me.
Absolutely. And what we're going to start doing every week that we have guests, every week we don't have guests, guys, we're going to start doing a sponsored artist of the week. And this week, because we have Sean here on the show, it is going to be Hangman's Ghost. Hangman's Ghost is a great group. Tell us a little bit about your band before we go into the thanking for sponsors and stuff like that.
Hangman's Ghost is a four-piece hard rock metal hillbilly band from here in West by God, Virginia, based out of Charleston, West Virginia. All four members are Mountain Artist Democracy members. There's Brother Stitches. He is the National Chief of Staff. Brother Picasso, our drummer. He's a crew member. Brother Puff, he's our bass player. Stitches is our lead guitar, our guitar player, lead guitar player, and backing vocals. We're all musicians. We're all brothers in this club, and we're out here to rock it out.
Let me ask you, how long you've been involved with MAD? Like, when did everything come up? I assume you're one of the founder members, right? Or
if you want to count it as, if you want to go gangster, I'm kind of an OG with it. Our gracious national president, Johnny Compton, he started this club with myself, a few other members that are still around, 1010, Neiman, Biggin, Atira. I mean, there's so many that were there with us when we decided to start this great club. For Johnny's leadership, we all followed him.
Absolutely.
The club's been around, actually, this April 20th was our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah. And we're what now? About 80 some members strong.
84 to 86.
Yeah. And we're based anywhere from New York to Florida, right?
We have 10 crews in 8 different states. There's 2 here in West Virginia. There's the Hillbilly crew, which is the mother crew, based out of Charleston. There's the Highland crew, which is Bluefield, Beckley, Princeton area.
Highland.
Yeah. And J-Bomb is a lieutenant, a new lieutenant for the Highland crew.
Represent J-Bomb.
Indeed. Yes.
We have an Old Dominion crew, which is our Virginia crew. We have crew in New York, 2 in Ohio, 1 in Kentucky, 1 in Tennessee, 1 in Florida. There's a couple others, guys, and right now I really can't remember.
Yeah, and we're an absolute family, guys. We all love each other. Other than the fact that the three of us sitting here now,
our actual family.
You know, Keith, myself, and Sean here, we are actual family.
Yeah.
Like we'll go into the crazy Martin family tree later. But first of all, before we go any further,
I'm going to be calling Sean Uncle Sean tonight.
Yeah, he's the honorary. You're the honorary nephew now.
Yes.
But anyways, before we get any further, guys, I want to thank all of you all for listening, guys. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight, all my co-hosts, and Sean, our special guest. I also want to thank Mountain Artist Democracy so much for sponsoring this show. Without them, this show wouldn't mean much of anything to anybody. They have shown us immense support. They have shared everything for us. They were some of the first ones to listen to us, and that's one thing. That's what we're going to talk about a lot tonight. We've got Sean here to talk about his band Hangman's Ghost a lot. And I definitely suggest, even if you aren't into the harder rock music, to definitely stick around because he's been in music for many, many years. And
Are you calling me old?
You are my uncle, so yes, you are old.
Wow.
Touche.
I mean, not as old as our dads. They're old men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They're
you
my
still
older
lost your
brothers.
hair. Your oldest brother still has hair.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's great. I get picked on for being the oldest in this podcast, so it's good to have Sean here.
Absolutely. But guys, also remember we do have a Facebook page up, All Things Today podcast, and you can listen to us anywhere from Anchor.fm, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and more recently Apple iTunes podcasts. And make sure you can find Mountain Arts Democracy on Facebook at Mountain Arts Democracy EC. You can be able to go in there, like the page, show everything. Like I said before, guys, we do a lot of shows. We do a lot of great events. Definitely check them out. Hangman's Ghost performs a lot, and we've got a lot of great bands and artists that go along with it. You guys have heard us talk about Lulu a lot on this show. She's an absolutely fantastic artist, one of the few that I remember and I've known for a very long time. But yeah, that's a lot about that. And finally, I want to mention our Patreon. Make sure to go check out our Patreon, guys. Later on down the line, it'll bring out special content for those of you who are patrons and possibly even getting the podcast the night that we record it, which would be super cool for a lot of people who would donate. And remember that Patreon is not something that is required of you to listen to the podcast. It's just something you can do to support your favorite content creators like ourselves.
Might even do live recordings of the podcast
Yeah,
for Patreon.
absolutely.
Patrons.
For some of our patrons who go to Patreon and do support us and would like to donate, we could even do live Q&A sometimes as the All Things Today podcast. And if there's somebody, like, you guys would have first pick of some topics, you guys would allow us, to talk about special guests we would bring on. But nonetheless, guys, again, it's not required. We just want you to enjoy the podcast and, keep what you love and what we love to do going forever. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. We've already talked about Matt a little bit. Sean, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Hangman's Ghost. I mean, I tried out for the bassist position before, but I had so much stuff going on that, it didn't really work out. But tell us a little bit about how you guys got started, how the name happened, and just, give us the history of Hangman's Ghost.
Hangman's Ghost kind of started, I was in a band. The band had some issues. The drummer and I decided to part ways. We still wanted to play music, so being in the music scene now 15 plus years or so, maybe a little more, I called up some people and needed a guitar player, called Stitches up. I said, hey man, you want to come play? Got a hold of Picasso, said, hey, you want to come play guitar? Picasso could play multiple instruments. Stitches got a hold of Puff. It kind of fell together. We were a 5-piece. Things happen. Members come and go. Now we're a 4-piece. We've been together almost a year now. We've got 9-10 original songs. We're working on new things. Some of us have had health issues, family issues, so getting together has been kind of rough, but we're still writing. We pass ideas over Facebook. We pass ideas through a Dropbox app. We write. I write as a vocalist. I'm gracious enough to have, and I'm thankful enough to have a band that allows me to write a lot of the lyrics.
For sure.
And I write from from my heart. And these guys make awesome music and throw out some killer stuff for me to be able to express, all of us, about.
You mentioned that you were in a band previously, that you and the drummer had problems. Or not problems maybe, but like y'all split that up.
Button heads a little bit.
Yeah. What exactly, are you at liberty to say what exactly was the final point, or was there just a lot of disagreements in that, or?
There wasn't necessarily disagreements. It was more of people in the music world will understand the Yoko Ono syndrome. That's what happened.
Absolutely.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair.
Then
Makes sense.
It came because I have no hard feelings for anybody. I've been in enough bands with people, best friends to worst enemies now to some. And it happens, and things sometimes you just can't do it. I've tried to start bands with people that after one practice you go, yeah man, you're my brother, but this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, no thank you. J-Bomb, so you live, as we've established here before, you live quite a distance away from the rest of us. Sean and Keith are both sitting here with me at my house right now because they lived within, 30 minutes away from my house. So, living a distance away, you of course heard of Mountain Arts Democracy through the Highland chapter, one of your good friends we've talked before, Baraka.
Yes.
Now,
Excuse me.
did you know a lot about Sean? Did you know a lot about Hangman's Ghost? Did you know a lot about his part of music, being our national vice president? Because Keith and I, we were raised with him. We were raised around it. We know everything that's going on. Even his son Connor.
Just as a club brother as well.
Yeah, he's Brother Neiman. But we were all just raised around it. We were raised around music. We were raised around art. My dad's an artist and everything of the sort. But how is it from an outsider's perspective, like yourself? Not knowing too much about it, but then seeing what we have turned into now, or what he's done with his band.
It was a awesome experience, really. I mean, I met up with Travis, and he told me about this club, and I put some time and thought into it, and I eventually decided to join up, and that's actually the first time when I met Sean, was the day I joined. And he talked to me, and honestly, I didn't even know he was a part of a band at the time. After checking out everything and checking out a lot of the sponsored bands, I finally got to listen to Hangman's Ghost, and I've actually got to see them twice now, and I was very impressed.
Now, one of which
they're a very good band.
You came up to our area. You came down to Charleston to watch them at the bakery, right? And that was
I was there for the wedding.
That was there for the wedding, where you and I had met for the first time. We had talked over chat before, but you and I had met actually in person, and then I feel like you had the same reaction that Vegas did when he first saw me. Is like, that's a big dude.
Yeah, you're big. I'm 5'5", and you're not.
Yeah,
you're a pretty big fella.
Absolutely.
You're pretty big
But
fella
the
there.
other time was at Takeover, right? That we had talked about in.
Yeah.
I think it was the first episode, our pilot episode. Excuse me, guys. I've been sick for the past couple days, so if you hear me coughing a couple times, I know it's.
How freaking dare you get sick?
People have already gotten on to me saying, "How dare I get sick for the podcast?"
Yeah.
I mean, you would think for a thing that we use our voice for, I would keep it clear and beautiful. But
And you being sick, I'm just happy I'm like 3 hours away, but all three of y'all are sitting right next to each other.
it's allergies, all right?
Yeah, we're SOL on this one.
Yeah, you guys are kind of messing up. Me and Keith are sharing a headset right now.
You're all going to end up with Ebola.
Do you know the way?
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to bring memes into it.
I will show you the way.
I have found the queen.
There
She
is-
smells of the great
there is one
Ebola.
thing I did want to. There is one thing I did want to ask Sean.
Yeah.
The name Hangman's Ghost.
Yeah.
It's a really cool name for anything, really. Where did you guys come up with that? Who came up with this?
Actually, it was weird. I was sitting outside of work one morning, and our brother Sharon, Michael Reed, the president of the Highland crew, your crew, posted this picture of this eerie oak tree. And there was a noose in it, and there was some spirits and an old spirits floating above it, and a house in the background. And we hadn't had a band name yet. I mean, crap, we hadn't been together maybe like a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Hangman's. Like, man, that looks like a bunch of Hangman's Ghost. And it was like, ding, there's a light bulb.
Yeah.
So I write it down.
The light bulb blew up.
Yeah, I write it down and send it to Stitches, and I'm like, what do you think, man? I'm like, I think this would be awesome. And that came out, and he and I both just kind of clicked. And when it clicked, we came up with a whole theme of this, late 19th century, post Civil War Western, cowboy that was done wrong, Billy the Kid kind of idea, a quintessential badass, if you want to say it, that was just done wrong, and that kind of put the theme rolling.
I like it.
There's nothing. There's no hate to it. There's nothing bad about the name. There's nothing bad about our logos and nothing. If people would think cowboy era, Billy the Kid, that kind of idea.
Yeah,
that's
the hangman.
The hangman, the executioner. That you pay your price.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And kind of something we were. You said you've got eight songs or so that you guys have right now.
We have our set list now is 8 to 9.
Okay.
We have a total right now maybe 12 that we can do.
Yeah.
We wanted to halfway do them.
I got you. So you're a listener of All Things Today, obviously.
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
Not at all.
What is this? Why are you here?
Yeah, why am I here?
He's never even heard it. He's never even heard of this.
He just
podcast.
told me there was going to be free tacos.
I just heard it was going to be cheeseburgers and cigarettes, and I got a cheeseburger, but sure as the heck can't smoke in here.
No, just vaping. But anyways, we were talking last week how rock music has a lot of feeling and emotion into it compared to, pop music today. You look at I don't know who it is, Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, one of them. The song Gucci Gang or whatever, where they literally just repeat the words Gucci Gang over and over and over again, has reached over, I don't know, I would say over 100 million people.
I told you before we started this, there needs to be a button right here. Who the beep are you even talking about?
Yeah, who is
Because
It's these new age and mumble rappers, but what I'm getting at more or less is, we're looking
Wait a minute. Slow it down. Mumble rap?
mumble rappers. So it's these guys that you
bubble rappers?
yes, exact gum rappers.
Oh,
But yeah,
Rumble fappers?
so not even going to throw a stone at that one.
wait. I'm the guest. I'm the new guy. Whatever. Did you just see Rumble Fappers?
I want that as a hashtag.
Hashtag.
No.
Hashtag
I want that.
Rumble Fapper.
I want that. Rumble
Listen,
fappers.
we gotta wait till
Rumble
hashtag
Rumble
chicken
Fap-
strip popsicle dies out.
Hashtag, no,
Nope.
you gotta keep them
No,
going,
you gotta
man.
keep going.
'em fresh.
Hashtag Rumble fappers.
Oh, my
Chicken
God.
strip
Every week he's gonna
popsicles.
say something.
Rumble Fapper.
This
Rumble
was-
Fapper.
Rumble
The Rumble Fapper got ate by a chicken strip popsicle.
I wonder how much
Well,
it's
the
going to
Rumble-
run us to
Now,
mark
J-Ball,
this as
the Rumble
PG-13.
Fapper
And the-
ate the chicken strip popsicle.
And the best part is, it wasn't forced at all.
Oh no!
I need to speak a little piece about your all's podcast. I have heard about podcasts for years, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's just not my deal. You guys being in the club with me, and as well as family, I was like, man, I want to check this out. I got to support artists. Whether it's painters and sculptors, musicians, comedians, podcasters, webcasters, filmmakers, whatever.
You could call us comedians.
And
Nah. I ain't funny.
anyway,
Rumble fappers.
and
Shut up.
the first episode, dude, I listened to it while I was at work driving down the road, and I was like, man, this is kill. This is awesome. Never mind the fact that I know these. 2 of them are my blood, and 1 is my club brother. That this stuff is awesome. Then last week I had been dealing with some stuff personally, and then to listen to the All Things Today podcast was awesome. Well, I was literally hey Joe Rogan, can I get my podcast now? Kind of how I do with the J-Bomb recap.
Yeah.
I'm one of the
I get hounded for that thing.
yeah, I'm one of the guys that at a certain time I gotta have my recap, man.
Gotta have his fix.
But I mean, seriously, as an artist myself, and for you guys to do this, it's great. It's hilarious. It's you get some knowledge. I was explaining to Noah and Keith before we started the age difference between myself and them, and J-Bomb you, when you all talked about gaming systems and games. I'm an old dude. I can remember Pong, man, with a single paddle. But I was like, man, I remember these old games, and I see these new games, and I was like, this is awesome because it branches out to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to hear me talk about the old games.
Yeah. I mean,
Make
you
me
get
feel older because I remember,
right.
Yeah, I remember them too.
But yeah, I mean, it's something that's really cool, and something I talked about with you earlier too. Is this is our way. Keith and I are a bit younger. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a family. I'm a foster parent. I've got 4 kids in my household right now.
plus a Keith, plus a Skinner.
Yeah, and I've got a new job that I'm starting. Keith is going to school for his filmmaking and everything like that. Mm-hmm. He's got a job that he deals with right now, and so we can't always make it to shows. Sean's a dog cop. He's a humane officer. That's we give him a hard time all the time. Memoirs of a dog cop. But
Why does it gotta be a dog cop? Why can't it be a cat cop?
because cats don't
I'm
care,
a
dude.
bug cop.
Yeah, see, J-Bomb's a bug cop.
He's a bug assassin.
Actually, he's a bug dick
Yes.
detective.
But
It's unacceptable. How dare you? Who curses on this show, anyways?
You do. I listen to the recap. I listen to this.
he listens to the recap. Did you hear what he just called us? He just called us the recap.
No, I said
I could have picked
He
up
thinks
on the
about the
mic,
recap every day.
Right. But anyways, oh gosh.
It's losing time.
Yeah,
I'm about to lose it.
We're going off. We're getting bumpy on the rails.
Sorry.
But anyways, like we were talking outside,
screws us up.
Keith and I don't have a lot of time to go to the events, a lot of the big shows and the music and stuff like that, because we've got so much going on. And J-Bomb, he lives quite a distance away from us, and we're the Hillbilly chapter. The crew that we're all in, sitting right here, the Hillbilly crew, right here, son. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Sorry.
Dorkfish.
Yeah, it happens over here. But
I can't see you though.
I'm recording video for YouTube, J-Bomb, dude. It's going to end up on the video webs,
Yeah, dude, look on the intertubes.
They
bro.
can see me though.
Brother.
I'm just a
Brother.
There we go.
Yeah. Funky like a monkey.
It's me, Mario.
Shut the
Anyway, J-Bob, how are you?
He almost did it again.
I think you're too
But
dumb,
anyways,
so I just forgot about it.
like I was getting at. Anyways, we can't make it to the shows all the time to see these people, so we started this podcast in a sense to, coincide, show a lot about you guys, support you guys, and then have you all support us. And in turn, it just works good for everybody. We're able to do all this for everybody. We're able to talk about everyone, have a good time, and just sit down and do what we do best, and just BS with each other all the time.
That means something else, and I don't like it.
Well,
He didn't say BM with each other. Bowel movement with each other.
I don't take no poops with nobody.
I'm a single pooper, man.
Me, myself, my eye.
You brown eye?
Ew.
My brown eye girl. Hashtag chicken strip popsicle. Ooh. Decals, ladies
Anyways,
and gentlemen.
sorry.
But yeah, so anyways, like I said, our topics for tonight we're going to be Hangman's Ghost and Mountain Arts Democracy. My mind is still on Rumble Fappers. So, do you guys have any questions?
Hashtag Rumble.
As far as Keith, J-Bomb, do you guys have any questions
I do
about
have a
Matt
question.
or Hangman's?
So, you know how our family is with like anxieties and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. How do you deal with it whenever you're up there performing in front of people? Like, how hard is it? Because I can't speak for no, but whenever it's myself, I'm better off as a filmmaker because I can do stuff on camera because I'm not like if I'm on the camera, I can do stuff and just know that okay, it's on the camera, only the camera and the people that are around there. I couldn't imagine getting in front of like maybe even 100 of people. I don't know how many you've done at most at one time, but like that, get in front of that many people and just doing that is just. I know what I said, guys.
I actually, I posed the same question to Sean because, I attempted to MC the last event we had. And it's nerve-wracking. Getting up there in front of those people will just kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It wrecked my nerves beyond meaning. And I don't know how you get up there and do that every time.
It's actually funny is when my wife and I were dating back many years ago, we did a play in the church, and the youth group did a play, and it was just she and I were up on the stage in front of the church congregation, and I ain't gonna lie, I chickened out, ran like a bird, man. I got up, didn't even start to play. I was like, I can't do this, and walked out, left her hanging.
You made that sound too?
But yeah, exactly, probably did. Maybe even pooped a little. I don't know. A few years later, I joined the show choir when I was in high school. During the show choir, I wear glasses. Everybody knows me. I wear glasses. During the show choir, I took the glasses off, so I couldn't see the crowd. But I was doing, show choir dance stuff like that. It was great. It was awesome. We performed in front of quite a bit of people at times, what I remember. But as a band, as a musician in a band situation, my first show with my first actual band, not playing in a basement, was like 300 or 400 people. And
Wow.
I was nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But I was taught by a great musician that we both, and all of us, the three of us here knew, that you look above the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't look them in the eyes unless you know that you can do it. You know, you look above them, you look around them. You have to entertain. I don't play an instrument. I mean, on stage, my instrument is my voice. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But you have to perform. You know, I get a lot of jokes that you're always moving. I can't take a picture of you. Well, sorry, but I've got to perform.
Yeah.
The anxiety issue that you asked about, Keith, is rough. You know, you dealing with it, Noah, you dealing with it, myself, J-Bomb, you dealt with it and seen what it was like at the takeover. And I want to applaud you, dude. And I know that you got a little wigged out, but you did great. You represented this club properly that night.
I tried.
So I give you kudos to that, brother.
For sure.
Good job.
But it is, you know, anxiety is a fickle little
Mistress.
There you go.
That's the word we were looking for.
Thank you.
The Fickle Mistress.
The fickle mistress. But
That's the next band.
and
So that's that thing.
So many.
to be a musician, it helps, and you know, to be able to play out, it does help. But when the anxiety affects you, it's a beast. But it can be dealt with. Sorry, guys, I rambled for a minute.
No, it's
You're
fine.
Good.
I'm
That's
just
fine. That's what we're here
That's
for.
what
to
we do.
talk.
yeah, for sure. That's what we do all the time, as you've heard.
That's why our logo is a microphone.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh. That's
talk
that's
through
what
a
the microphone
microphone.
means.
That's all the. All
I don't know
things
what a
today is
microphone's for.
A bunch of
Me
ramble.
either, dude. I mean, you only got
I'm
a
a
tattoo of one on
rambler.
your arm. But
Boy, wouldn't that
yeah.
be weird? He going up there singing. He's like, "Where's the mic?" He's like, "You're looking right at it." I don't know what
On
this
me
is.
arm. Check. 1, 2, check.
Tap his arm.
One, two,
Check 1, 2.
No, nothing. Okay.
But I definitely know what you mean as far as anxiety goes. A lot of my anxiety is fabricated in my mind. Like and when I say that, it's stuff that I shouldn't be worried about. It's anxiety that I absolutely should have no fear about. Like when I was in Anna Marie Island, Florida, you know, in 2017, last year, with my family, you know, my wife and I had 3 of our kids with us. We had my family with us and everything, and we were on an island off the coast of Florida, and there were a couple of days of bad rain, but my anxiety literally kept me from sleeping almost every night because I was worried about literally a tsunami hitting the island. And that was my irrational anxiety, and it happens to me all the time. Now on stage, it doesn't. I don't know what it is, but when I'm on stage, when I'm in front of a camera, when I'm recording audio, if I'm up playing with a band, if I'm doing comedy, you know, whatever it may be on a stage, if I'm a front man, if I'm up there performing and I'm giving it my all bit of anxiety, everything that I remember bad about the day, it's all gone.
Well, it's like Keith was saying, you know, being on camera as in front of the camera and portraying a part
Yeah.
is not that bad. Being behind the camera is not that bad. But when you have to be yourself
Yeah.
in front of something or in front of people,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
that
And,
Fickle mistress, as we said.
yeah.
I'm
And-
going to mention some kind of behind the scenes stuff here. We've been talking a little bit about doing maybe like live podcasts in front of people, and you know, whenever I first heard that, like I wasn't kidding. Whenever I messaged in the chat, I was just like, "Well, my anxiety just shot up big time." Just
It will.
yeah,
I mean,
just
it's-
thinking about doing
Yeah.
that in front of however many people is going to be at that event we were talking about. It's crazy. It's nuts. And
I
You
don't
know-
know. Sitting around with you two, I think I wouldn't have as much anxiety because it wouldn't be me by myself.
that's true.
Yeah.
And I thought that too. Like, you know, I'd be with you. I'd be with Noah here. I know that Skinner would be close by.
And our whole mad family would be there with us, and even though not all of them listen to us, they're all supporters of us. Absolutely, 100%. All of them will be supporters, no matter what.
Right.
And that's the cool thing that I'm thinking about too. And I'm looking out there at we got 67 likes on the Facebook page right now. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for that. That is amazing
Thank you.
to see that in the 3rd week of podcasting, we are at over 60 likes. It's absolutely, mind-boggling.
Close to 100.
Yeah, absolutely. But knowing that we have that many fans and we've got over 150 applause on Anchor and over 50 listens on Anchor itself, knowing that there are people who love it, man, being on stage, talking to those people and doing all that I'm just excited for it, and I love it, and I love I love the whole idea of it.
Oh yeah, well, my anxiety was like kind of shooting up there.
Yeah.
I was very excited too. I was just
Absolutely.
I've learned for the past few years trying to deal with it and try to grow as a person, stuff like that.
Right.
That you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You just don't be nervous about it. You just got to do it, man.
Absolutely.
And if we got up there and we were doing it, yeah, my nerves would probably be shot by the time we actually got to the show. I'd probably need like someone to shove me up there, just be like, "Buddy, come on, go.
Let's do it."
Get up there,
and then by
hurry
the
up.
time you're talking, man,
Yeah,
you just
and-
blacked everything
Right,
out.
like
and
as soon as
you're
we
ready
start
to
going,
go.
we just be.
I personally had, and I know a lot of musicians and artists, not just musicians, but have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
I personally pace
Yeah.
for the first until I'm done. I pace. I have a personal ritual to do. I say a little prayer. I text my brothers to let them know that I'm getting ready to hit stage. It's a routine. If I break that routine, something happens.
Yeah.
And J-Bomb, you were there to witness that something happened. And
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and I don't want a pity party by no means, but if anybody that listens to this podcast and that suffers from anxiety, don't be ashamed of it, guys.
No,
Right,
not at all.
yeah.
If you need the help and you need to seek the help and you need to get the treatment, it's a serious Fickle Mistress. Because first time in 15 plus years I couldn't complete a set. If it wasn't for this mad family and supporting me the way they did that night and after it, and my bandmates, that yes, they're a mad family, but they're still my bandmates as well. That, and my wife, that really showed me a lot of love because I was struggling. And everybody has missteps and falls, but you get your butt back up,
For sure.
get back on that horse, and you ride, man. You ride it as long as you can.
And that's one of the big things about Mountain Arts Democracy that we wanted to hit on tonight is the fact that we are a big family, guys. I know not all of you who listen to us are members, but knowing that we are a club that cares about who you are, what you do. It doesn't matter if you're a gamer, if you are a podcaster like us, if you're a musician, if you're an artist. We want to support you guys. We're a bunch of local artists ourselves in some way, shape, or form. And remember that all of your favorite bands were local artists at one time. We talked last week about what.
All your good bands were local artists. All your crap was made up in Hollywood or Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at.
Sorry.
Look
Oh,
at,
man.
for example, Avenged Sevenfold. They grew up in Huntington Beach, California, and they started playing together from the time that I think they were like 13 or something. And just how they've grown and they've gotten as big as they are now. Nonetheless, all the music you listen to now used to be a local artist of some sort, except for the pop stars and stuff like that just overnighted or whatever. But the hardworking musicians.
Everybody, it's filmmakers like yourself, Keith, that started doing stop motion animation or claymation in your bedroom as a teenager, or a podcaster like yourself, Noah, that sitting around and listen to it and maybe have had recorded your, hey, this is Noah Martin on blah, 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 on a phone. Or
just kind of
something.
testing it for sure.
Myself as a kid singing country, as everybody laughs in our club chat about me listening to country during the day. As you guys know, we grew up in churches and singing gospel and country as groups or choirs or whatever. Here I am sitting in a bedroom at 15, 16 years old listening to Garth Brooks wailing.
Yeah.
Whether I was sucking it or not. I was wailing away to some rodeo and the dance and stuff like that. So everybody gets to start.
Well, and everybody here in this podcast right now has had a background in art in some way, shape, or form. J-Bomb, you said your dad's an artist and actually has a lot of...
You're an artist, J-Bomb.
Yeah, and
I've seen some of your work that you sent me.
Yeah, I'm actually an artist.
Yeah, for sure. We all come
I
from
actually
that
have a
background.
couple of pieces in the governor's mansion, actually.
Say what?
That's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, make a trip to Charleston to hang out with us.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let him
I'd
know.
love to. Yeah, I need to. I need to sometime.
For sure. But, our great-grandmother...
J-Ball had a special guest in the Highland Crew. It's not my podcast, just on the idea.
We've talked about stuff. We've talked about
You
stuff.
all know me. I'm a creative,
Right?
Fickle Mistress.
But you look at,
We are too.
our...
Stop it.
you look at our great grandmother. You look at her kids.
She is your great grandmother. She is my grandmother.
Yeah. Right. Well, you look at that and the kind of music she was into. She was playing her guitar up until she developed dementia in her 80s.
Yeah.
I mean,
and our Uncle Johnny was 5, 6
Oh
years
my
old,
gosh.
standing on a coffee can recording audio.
yeah,
You know,
there,
again, standing on a coffee can singing.
yeah, there are pictures of him in, our grandma's house of him playing bass on the naval ship he was on.
On a destroyer, yeah.
Yeah, on a naval destroyer that he was on when he was in the Navy. So we come from a lot of, art and music. Like, my dad is an artist. He's not a musician by any means, but he's an artist. I got a little bit of the musician side from, this gentleman right here, this lovely Uncle Sean. And then I got the artist side from my dad. And, Keith, you've got some art talent as well from your dad. I mean, he's, tattoo artist too.
Mm-hmm.
The dude is amazing at what he does, and we're looking at art, looking at all this local stuff that we're doing, and noticing what impact it has on our communities.
And a lot of people see this, and not to speak out of turn, guys, this is your old show.
No, you're good.
But a lot of see us wearing patches and wearing leather vest or denim vest that we're bikers.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now, straight up forward, Mountain Artist Democracy Entertainment Club has nothing to do with bikers.
No.
We're not an MC. We will never be an MC. We're not wearing back patches. If we have anything on our backs, it's to support artists.
Yeah.
Music, painters, the whole spectrum like we've mentioned before. I don't want people to think that because we have these that we're rugged, rumble, Sons of Anarchy kind of thing. We're not. Yeah. Yes, our members, when you become a member of this club, you do get patches. We prefer that you have them on something so people you can represent this club and people can see it.
And it was probably, you were saying before, it was probably one of the easiest ways for people to recognize who we were, the quickest, and for us to be able to support on our person. Getting T-shirts.
And it's more of a unity thing.
Yeah,
it really is.
And
unity,
it's a lot.
Unity is the key, J-Bomb. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to get patches on a vest than it is to buy 30 T-shirts. You can't wear 30 T-shirts from each band and artist at one time, but you can throw 10 patches on one corner of your vest, one corner of your cut, real quick.
Yeah. Oh, we all got quiet.
No, sorry, Breeder just sent a message. Yeah, Breeder just sent a message and said, Skinner, make J-Bomb tell me who the guest is. Because
that's currently in the chat at 11:12.
Yeah, this is on Thursday night, and nobody knows who the special guest is except for the four of us right now, and that's, of course, Sean. J-Mom, you've been kind of quiet because we've been kind of over-talking you a little bit.
You got 3 Martins in one room. You ain't
yeah,
getting a
dude.
chance, dog.
It's lucky you get to talk with me and Keith. But do you have any questions?
Throw it out there, J-Bomb. Throw me something. Come on.
Give it to me.
I mean, as far as Hangman's Ghost goes, I mean, we've kind of covered the stuff that I was going to ask anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys got questions, but as far as me in closing is with the Hangman's Ghost topic, like I did say, I got to see these guys twice, and anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you get a chance to check them out, you really should. Like I said, I've seen them twice, and Muddy Waters is actually kind of one of my favorite songs now.
Which is
so, yeah.
To hit on that, not to cut you off, that Muddy Waters, being from West Virginia, a few years ago we had some bad floods, some historic, damaging floods.
Yeah.
And Brother Stitches lived a block away from this. His community was engulfed in the water, and that's where Muddy Waters came from. Not to cut it off, but to put it out there. Anybody wanting to know is that song is about the floods and rebuilding and structuring our communities that West Virginia did, and the outreach from other states and other countries and everybody, was about. That's what Muddy Waters.
I want to do a little bit
It's
just
a very
of,
awesome song.
Promote a video one of my friends at school did. B-side photography. He did a little documentary style about the floods, especially in like Clendenin and stuff.
Which is awesome.
Yes. He used video from like newscasts and stuff like that there and everything, and he got interviews with people there. So if you want to, go look up B-side photography, and look up the video after the storm. That'll give you a good little 7-minute watch to just about people's experience during that time as well.
Yeah.
Like it. So, do you guys have any questions for Sean?
See, at this point, what?
Y'all realize it's really whack when you guys call me Sean, right?
Yeah.
You two, Keith, Noah, before the club, you've always called me Sean, Uncle Sean.
Right.
It does. It's not. It's odd. But J-Bomb, for you to call me Sean, I'm like, who the heck is he talking about?
Who is this? Who is the Sean
Hey,
you
I-
speak of?
He
I
did.
said it tonight. Tonight, you're Uncle Sean to me.
I was gonna say he's gonna turn into Uncle Sean for J-Bomb.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, Uncle Sean. Anyways, I was going to ask you guys a question.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And I just
Wow. Wow. Way to
look, I'm a
have dead.
special guest, and I dropped the Bislam on that one.
Way to have dead air.
I do want to. I want to personally, put out there that all things today is awesome, and not because you guys are my family or club family, you will have my support in this. I will help you whatever forms way I can. I think this is a great thing. Like I said, I had heard of it but wasn't into it. Now I am.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm told a lot that I like to hear myself talk, but I don't. But I had
love
to
it.
sit around.
I love to hear myself talk.
You've got a rodeo voice, dude. I'm telling you right
Thank
now.
you.
You take this cat, you take Putty and the GIF, you put them together. I'm telling you, watch out, Bob and Tom. Here it comes. I'm
And
just,
that's it's funny because when I worked at Amazon for a while at the call center here in Huntington, and
You sure it was Amazon and not one of those 800 numbers?
it could have been either. I don't know. It said Amazon on the side of the building. They had it written on some like white notebook paper.
You sure didn't say like Slavazon?
It may have. I don't know.
It was a 900.
Oh, it's not 100 of them. I'm not 800.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's
It
one
was
of
a
those.
dollar a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I didn't stop. I'll take that somewhere we went when we go.
Listen, this is a non-political podcast.
I wasn't going political. I was going.
Anyways,
I think he was going the
You weren't
opposite
going
of political.
political at all. No.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what president you are, if it's political or not.
hey, and that's how we get.
Chicken strip popsicle.
And that's how we get taken off the air.
No, no.
But no, it's
What air? We're in the internet.
same thing. Anyways, so
If it took us off air, we would die.
it
Yeah.
happens. Anywho, the putty mic.
Oh God!
We have a choked Putty.
They took him off the air.
Took him off the air.
Anyways, so I worked for Amazon for a while.
You guys are hilarious.
and I worked in the general unit. So like anybody, we broke Sean. Oh jeez.
He said har har and just couldn't stop laughing.
Sorry.
Wow.
Har har.
Get it together, man. Get it together.
No such thing.
This is a professional podcast, sir. I'm
You
gonna.
brought me a special guest, and you want me to be professional?
You have me as a co-host.
I know.
That's your blood.
I know.
You should have known that before you started.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should be the surprise out of this one.
But anyways, so
Yes,
I
you
worked
should
at
do.
I
Amazon.
just got real scared because
And-
close to him.
This guy called in, and he was from like the Philippines or something like that. And he immediately asks if he can be transferred to an Asian speaking representative.
Nope.
And I said, sure, give me just one moment. He goes, hold on 1 second though. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? He goes, I've heard you before. And I was like, how in the world did you hear me from all the way in the Philippines, brother? And he goes, I know your voice.
What?
I've heard it on the radio before. He said, "You're radio DJ." I was like, "Nah, man, I'm
Oh.
just some 20-year-old dude working at Amazon." And he was like, "You sure you've never been on the radio before?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I like to, but no." And it's funny because when we adopted my daughter, she was going to the local pre-K for a while, and her teacher came out one time and asked me. She was like, "So, no, what do you do?" I was like, at the time I was working at a vape shop, and I was like, "I'm just a manager at a vape shop." And she said, "You should work as a DJ on a radio." And I was like, "Thanks." And that's something I've heard for a long time.
I really personally see you, J-Bomb, both having that kind of thing. You know, and I honestly, and I've actually talked to my brother Bill, Keith's father, the other day about it. I honestly could see this All Things Today being an ultimate, podcast as doing as a webcast, with all three of you or however you all wanted to do it, because it's a whole different side of art than what my old almost 40-year-old butt was used to.
Yeah.
It really is, because it does take to sit here your pre-show and watch you pull out what hair you don't have. I have
It's
room
okay,
to
you
talk
can
either.
borrow some of mine.
Yeah, we could borrow Keith. He has all the hair.
That's why I wear
But-
hats, guys.
Is to watch you all pull this together, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing? I'm a musician. I can plug a microphone in and play a guitar, or I can catch a dog. But, I don't know what we are doing. It's like, and here's J Bomb 3 hours away from us, and he's right talking to me.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting beside of me, and it's awesome. It's a form of art that I am so thankful for you guys, you three. Number one, for inviting me into your show, and number two is exposing me to it. It's like your all's conversation. One episode was about music, and to listen to your all's different opinions and all this stuff, and it was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And here I am now experiencing a different style of art.
Yeah.
As your national VP of the club, I'm experiencing what we're promoting, and it's a plus.
Yeah.
So it gives me, a warm feeling to be able to like check these guys out, or if we have another podcaster in the club family, let's work together. So
Yeah, and so
for
few
sure.
people are. I know we're kind of like trying to be the catalyst for more people doing stuff like this, but there are right now so few people that are doing podcasting and doing like filmmaking and doing these more on-screen cinematic styles of art. It's more like music and stuff, and again, or not again, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Because show who you are musically, show who you are artistically, whether it be painting stuff. But my forte is film, and
Right.
it's been like that for years.
Well, see, I feel like when you mention art to people,
Yeah.
when you tell people that we're an entertainment club, they see entertainment, and they see that we do a lot of shows, we promote a lot of stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, these are guys that are a bunch of musicians.
musicians or painters, that's what I get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when you mention artists, that when we first started this podcast, and I was introducing it as Mountain Arts Democracy as our sponsor, I said we are a group of like-minded artists, individuals, comprised of musicians, artists, so on and so forth. I think that's what a lot of people have in mind when they hear that we're entertainment and artists, is musicians and painters and tattoo artists, stuff like that. And I don't think they take the media, like when we talked last week about social media, for example, how this is an art form now. Radio is an art form, podcasting is an art form, YouTube is an art form, filmmaking, and I think people don't look at that very much. I think people kind of overpass that stuff because they're like, oh, well, you're just recording yourself. You're talking. You're going to do that stuff anyways, and you're just recording it. And they don't see it as an art form when it truly is.
But going back to Keith's thing about when our conversation about anxiety earlier tonight was watching your bad lip reading video that you did.
Oh my
Putty.
gosh! By the way, guys, if you haven't
Yes.
seen that, check out his video. It's on your. Is
yes,
it KJX?
it's on youtube.com/KJX3 Productions. I did a bad lip reading of the video game Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
guys!
Nice.
It was.
Oh my God, I gotta check this out.
It
J-Bomb,
was.
I actually
hilarious.
sent. If you look at our club page, our private page, there is a link to it on there. It is actually Char, my wife, woke me up in the middle of the night when Putty posted it. She was like, "Honey, you got to get up. Our nephew is rocking. This is great." And I heard. She woke me up laughing. And I'm like, "Oh, what is she? What's going on?" And here we go. Anyways, so I wake up and I watch this, and I'm like, "This is awesome," because y'all have asked me about play it, get in front of people and play it. I would have no freaking clue how to edit like you did.
It's
and
tough, man. I mean,
it's hilarious. But you did this video, and I've watched it, and I've got a chuckle, and I laugh actually more than chuckle. But the J-Bomb recap that we always talk about, I messaged J-Bomb the other night, and I said, brother, listen, dealing with my anxiety issues, the recap helped me because I was struggling. I was struggling real hard with the last few weeks, month or so, and going back and watching my club brother talk about stuff, that I knew what happened, but made me laugh, and to listen to Gifts and Putty and J Bombs, this podcast is a stress relief. Yes, I'm like I said earlier, the recap. I'm like the crackhead from the David Chappelle show. Hey, Joe Rogan. But when you get your fix, you actually like it, and it's an art fix that all of us as artists in our own ways, enjoy and want.
That's why I got into film more than anything, because I can draw. I don't like patting myself in the back that much, but like I can draw.
I've seen them.
If I put the time into it, I could play guitar.
I've seen it.
Because yeah.
I still have your guitar, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
8 years later, I still have it. But I borrowed Putty's guitar 8 years ago. And
if I was willing to put the time into that, I could learn it and be fine with it. I know ways to do it, basically. But filmmaking to me really is the one that stuck with. Okay, so
we're gonna derail real quick.
Let's explain here what's going on. The camera's getting this.
Noah's computer's about to die.
Yes, and
we are in his living room recording this, and he is now like face down, butt up, trying to plug up the battery charger to the computer before this whole thing goes to hell.
I ain't cutting that out, right?
Oh, dude, don't. I don't want you to.
And it's hilarious because we kept talking until we look over and Gift's butt is like not twerking.
Yeah, guys, I'm butt in the air.
Whoa, close.
Getting ready. Yeah, partially. I've got shorts on.
Hey, J-Bomb, I got a real quick question. I don't know how long you guys want to run this, and I'm just the chat.
Dude, our first episode ran what? We wanted to be 45 minutes, and we ran it at an hour and
what did you
20?
I'm good for 2-3 hours, whatever y'all want.
Well, you're a stud.
But I'm Ching.
Wait a minute.
It's over,
I'm good to I need to go home soon. But anyway.
So yes, Skinner, you got a question?
Yeah. When you joined Madden, what was your expectations, and what have you seen since? What
I mean, I didn't really have many expectations because I had no idea really what to expect. But within just a day or two, I realized I'd already made a good decision. I seen how united this whole club is, and like we've talked about tonight, it's more like a family. Seeing everybody stick together. Seeing how everybody gets along, regardless of our beliefs, our hobbies, what we like to do, what we like, we still all kind of come together and we're a family. And me being a metalhead, in West Virginia, kind of feel left out every now and then. And it was nice to join in with a group of people that seemed like I fit in with. So I love the fact that I joined up, and apparently you guys love the fact that I joined up because I've been in for a few months and I'm already a lieutenant.
As your national VP, dude, and I tell anybody that gets promoted, I personally, as if I see the work and I see the love and like anything else, if I see the you're busting your bottom to do that.
You almost said something else there, didn't you?
He almost said balls.
I actually almost said ass. Okay. I'll go ahead and say, if you busted your ass to do what is needed,
right?
Why not? Why not promote within? And we have a great group of people from our prospects that are rocking to our national president, Johnny Compton, which is a man that I hold dear to my heart as a hero. That
dude's crazy.
A legend.
He's awesome.
That and I don't know if he listens or whoever listens to this. Let's put out some good thoughts and prayers for him and Miss Linda.
For sure.
Going through some health issues, but this whole family thing, like you were talking about, is that's what we wanted. We want to help the scene, whether you're West Virginia or Kentucky, Ohio, wherever. Yeah. Help your local scenes, but yet have a connection to one another. I have met some of the dearest closest people to me because of this club. And whether it can go from we can go from 80 to 800 or down to 8. I bleed this club.
Yeah.
I bleed what Mad's about. It's dear.
I mean, I'm with you on that one. Like I said, in the beginning, I didn't know what to expect, but I kind of just jumped in, head first on it, and kind of just took to it, and I realized how awesome it was. And like we was talking, I think it was last week about the whole recap thing. I didn't even have that planned. That wasn't on purpose. I was just a guy that was at work all the time, and I couldn't get on this chat. So
yeah,
I'd come home and I'd read it and I'd recap it. Next thing I know, there's a theme song, and then the next thing I know, Skinner's harassing me daily, going, "Hey, where's my recap, man?" And it's funny. As far as the club goes, I almost kind of got like celebrity status all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's Brother Breeder said it, and I've said it, and all of us have told you, your recap has become a family time for some of us.
For sure.
It has.
Or a comedy relief from a stressful day of Noah, with you and being a foster parent. Keith, you being a full-time student. People doing this stuff is, you go home and you can sit down and watch one of your friends bust each other's balls and crack and joke and fill you in on what you actually missed yourself.
For sure. And it's when I'm here, like I said, I'm getting ready to start a new job on Monday, by the way. Like I just so you guys know, between the podcasts, I found a new job and I'm starting on Monday, but I'll be working in the mornings from 8:30 to 5 o'clock every day. And I feel like a majority of our stuff in the chat goes from 8:30 to about that time, because people are awake all the time.
I'm in that chat, like, as I watch it, monitor it, because it's what I kind of do.
Right.
But I'm in that chat all the time, and that thing goes from like daylight to dark.
Dude, 0 to 100 real quick.
0 to 100 and 100 to 0. You talk about some crickets. The other night, I think myself, Breeder, and Putty were the only 3. Out of like 80 people in the chat, there was like 3 of us.
Yeah.
And we had insomnia like bigger than crap. I know we did. It was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And it really went really crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy. But, J-Bomb, your recap, for example, will help me going to work. Like, when I miss something, because I'm going to be on phones again. I'm going to be working for a healthcare service that I'm going to be on the phone with patients all the time. And I'm not going to have the ability to check the chat all the time and see what's going on. So I'm going to have to rely on the recap to see what has happened through the day. And
the funny thing is, I get people that tell me, "Hey, I'm on the chat all day," and then I watch your recap and realize I missed like 5 or 6 subjects.
That's exactly that. Today, I haven't watched today's, but yesterday's, I was on the chat. I try to do things to, number one, make your job harder. But
I know.
But
I'm aware.
I catch things and go, "Wow, where did that happen from?" Oh, that's what I missed when I walked away 5 minutes to catch that pissed off Chihuahua.
yeah.
Yeah. And then there's people like you brought up Breeder. When I hear that somebody like Breeder sits on his couch with his wife and all his kids piled up around their phone watching a recap, it's a feeling I never thought I'd feel. Like Travis Phillips, Baraka, him and his wife watch it every night. It's almost like I've turned into some kind of weird episode of The Simpsons or something.
Well, it's myself and Shar. We sit in the evenings, and as soon as the recap's up, if she's working from home a couple days a week now, and she'll come in and she'll sit down with me. We'll smoke a cigarette and we'll listen to the recap. She may I may put the Bluetooth speaker on and air it. She's not watching, but we're getting the giggles, and she's in the club as well, and she follows all of this.
It's okay. According to Putty, the video quality needs to be landscape, not portrait.
Yes,
so you might be okay playing just the audio.
Putty did tell me a while back that you needed to turn your camera around.
I did.
And I was like, "Hey, dude, I don't know. I'm just a singer and a dog cop."
I think it's kind of turned into his thing, though.
The reason why I don't do that is because if I turned it landscape, you couldn't see my vest with my very awesome patches on it.
As your VP, as your national VP, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I can get over this madness as a filmmaker for actually being a good reason not to turn it the other way. So
Yeah,
awesome
you'll be
job.
okay.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love watching the recap. Like, I'm not going to lie, because at some points where I've been more or less unemployed for the past week and a half, about 2 weeks, honestly, I have been doing nothing but on the Mountain Arts Democracy chat every minute of every day. And
You have strictly
And-
devoted yourself to trying to get this thing as big as possible.
yeah, absolutely. And my entire every day is focusing on making this podcast as best as possible. And whoa.
So we don't have a camera on now.
No.
So I'm going to explain what just happened.
Yeah, the only camera we've got is my webcam right now.
Skinner just put something in his mouth.
Whoa! I found an earplug, brand new earplug from a show.
He put it in his nose first.
Put it in my nose, and blew it out like a snot rocket, and picked it up and chewed it like a piece of bubble gum to try to screw up while they were being serious.
Yeah,
It
and
kinda
that's
worked.
it. It happened.
I turned them into rumble flappers. I don't know.
Hashtag that.
Hashtag
it. Hashtag it.
It was rumble fappers.
rumble flapper. Whatever. I'm old.
Rumble
Gotta get the
flappers.
fapper part in there.
Oh my gosh.
And the chicken strip popsicle.
Hashtag chicken strip popsicle.
I almost want that tattooed.
What?
Chicken strip popsicle.
Dude, I'll tell you what. If this podcast gets big enough, I'll tell you what,
Hell
guys.
with that. I'll
If-
go tomorrow. You buy it, I'll go tomorrow and get chicken strip popsicle
Dude.
tattooed on my leg.
How about this? I have a challenge for all of you guys.
challenge time.
If this podcast reaches 200 likes in 2 weeks, I will get Skinner and I both will get chicken strip popsicle, like an actual chicken tender on a popsicle stick.
No, I want the word. I want the hashtag.
Oh no, I'm gonna get an actual chicken tender with a popsicle stick on it.
Put a hashtag and then
Either way,
Yeah, exactly. Hashtag.
Hashtag and then the
the
picture.
picture.
Get that tattooed on us, man. Because I feel like if this gets big enough, that's fine.
As the person that brought the hashtag in the first place, I do not condone this. But hey, if y'all want to, that's fine.
Man,
perfectly fine, fam.
I don't know about you,
boo-boo.
man.
I'm just saying.
But I'm pretty sure it was my wife that walked in and wrote it on a notebook pad that she had mistaken a chicken strip for a banana popsicle.
It was.
And
It
actually,
was your wife.
she demonstrated to me that how that got confused, but I still don't care. I told her it's still her fault. Mr. Greatest.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh goodness,
Oh my gosh.
it has been
Wow.
absolutely.
So J-Bomb, you down for the tattoo too?
I mean, I would do the chicken strip popsicle tattoo, yeah.
Did
But
you?
I like the All Things Today logo. I would get that tattoo.
Ooh, if you guys reach 200 likes, I will push for this myself. I will make sure that my personal Facebook page, my personal social media, that this thing gets going. Because I just want to see GIF number one with a chicken strip and a popsicle stick on his leg. And I want to see, like...
I don't know, man. My
I
calves,
will rock the chicken strip popsicle hashtag words.
dude.
somewhere on my blog.
I'll absolutely get it on me. If our Facebook page at least gets 200 likes in 2 weeks' time, that means you guys got to share the
guys
crap.
screwed up.
That's
Because-
fine.
Because the mountains aren't mounted. That words.
The club that we're in, that
The-
club,
That club that we're all talking
and you know
about,
this
right?
podcast,
And
some
this
stuff
podcast.
tomorrow.
Yeah, some stuff tomorrow. That stuff, yes.
Callback.
Those items yesterday.
Anyway, yeah,
And nothing
Hello.
yesterday.
Yeah, nothing yesterday. But the Mountain Artist Democracy now has a Mountain Artist Democracy endorsed artist page
Oh
on Facebook.
no!
Oh yeah.
So
I
now,
damn messed up, y'all.
which you guys are on that list, KGX3,
Oh yeah.
All Things Today. The recap's not, but it's our little thing.
Right,
Hangman's Ghost and all of our other artists are on there. So we can get you that 200 likes, homie.
dude.
And it, you know,
I want to see 200 likes, and I want to see. You know, we're averaging right now about 25.
So
I think it's 22.
50 viewers on 50 listeners and 200 likes on Facebook in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll get it.
I'm just a guess. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about it. You get 200 likes and 50 guests on any platform. I'm talking like on this episode right here. I'm talking I'm talking 50 altogether between YouTube, iTunes, Anchor, any of this stuff. 50 between them. I will get a chicken strip popsicle tattoo before the end of this year.
And I will get the chicken strip popsicle hashtag words.
Oh, dude.
What have you done, Morgan? What have you done?
J-Bomb will get the
What
All
have
Things
you-
Today tattooed logo.
And see, here's the
Logo
thing.
tattoo.
What have I done?
Hey, I'll do the chicken strip popsicle hashtag. I'm down with that.
You'll do
Oh,
that?
boy.
That boy right there.
I do want that shared. Shared chicken strip popsicle everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, MySpace if you got it.
Absolutely, guys. The
High-
more you
high-
share it,
high
the more
five.
the tattoo means something.
I don't know.
RedTube. somewhere.
Does MySpace
Oh my-
even still exist?
Wait a minute. Wait.
You know, I listened to a podcast
We got-
before.
Actually, MySpace still does exist. It's very small.
I listened
Does it?
to a podcast before
We're not-
that was
we're
going to
not-
upload themselves on some pornographic websites, and they weren't approved. They
weren't?
did not approve their podcast on a pornographic website.
Side note: Pornhub has a
Oh my gosh.
YouTube channel.
Pornhub does?
Yes.
Wow.
Where's my
Now we're,
phone?
now we're, now we're
So,
talking
anyways,
about
thank you
porn.
for listening
Make
today.
sure to subscribe to the boobies.
Because this, oh my god,
Oh God.
I'm so sorry. I apologize deeply for
This ain't
everything
forced either.
that has
Hashtag
happened.
Subscribe to boobs.
Oh my
This ain't
gosh.
forced either. I want it.
I'm so sorry.
I'm the hashtag man. I'm the hashtag man. I make
Coming on my eyes. I'm
hashtags.
over here dying.
They throw it up and make it hashtag, and I make it a hashtag everywhere.
I'm
the
so sorry.
hashtag man. No, you're in the way of the mic. I'm the hash.
If I die over here, somebody let Travis know. He knows where I live.
Hashtag Rumble Fappers. Hashtag
Chicken strip
subscribe to
popsicle.
boobies.
Subscribe to movies.
Hashtag chicken strip popsicle. Hashtag all things today.
Hashtag Mountain Artist Democracy.
Prayers for this
Hashtag
podcast,
Hangman
please.
Hashtag this bit hasn't gone far enough.
Hashtag Dog Cop.
I need help.
Hashtag chickens.
We just lost
I
it.
don't know.
Okay. Woo.
Okay,
Sorry.
so
Hashtag termites suck. How's that?
Yeah. Hashtag
Yeah.
hashtag cockroach.
Hashtag Papa Roach.
all right. So at that point, does anybody have any more questions
No,
regarding Mountain Arch Democracy or Hangman's Ghost?
This is my last resort.
No, not that I can think of.
Keith, you got anything else?
No, we better stop before I freaking lose
Before we
it.
lose it
something
anymore.
No more hashtags.
Oh my
I
gosh.
filled my quota for the next 4 weeks.
Yep, there we go. Sean, do you have anything left to say?
Actually, I do. If you don't care,
Yeah,
I wanna,
go for it.
I want to throw out a couple things, you guys. Once again, thank you all three of you
Absolutely.
for having me on here. This is awesome. This is a blast.
It's great.
I want to throw out, if anybody listens to this that's a local artist in the Charleston, West Virginia, hell, I don't care, any area. The Bakery in Charleston, West Virginia is the new all ages venue that's struggling, guys, and they need some money and to keep it going. It's a great venue. They've had big national acts. They've had now Soulfly, Memphis Mayfire. This Friday night there is at 6 p.m. I do believe we're going to have the Canadian metal band Anvil. Anvil is legendary in the metal world.
They've been touring for what, 40 years?
Something like 30, 40 years. I mean, it's a legendary metal band.
They're crazy.
But we got to keep this going for our youth and for families that want to go see shows. And the Bakery does more than concerts, man. They have art exhibits. There's rental places for bands to practice and artists to do their work in. So if you look on Facebook, there's a big promo to help. If you could donate $2, $5, $10, $1,000, who cares? Let's focus on trying to help the Bakery.
Every donation helps.
Yeah, and again,
Everyone
guys,
does.
it's a lot like page.
That sounds cliche. You know, every donation helps,
Right.
but it really does. This
Yeah.
is a good thing for our area. You guys are younger than me,
Yeah,
but if you all had an area, I didn't have an area that growing up that you could go all ages and see a class. You could go to Huntington Civic Center and pay a gazillion dollars
right.
to see your favorite band once every 5 years.
Yeah.
This place and the Charleston Artists Collective and the Bakery are bringing the youth and even us old guys bands that we want to see cheap. And they need the help for a good thing. There's bars and venues out here for everybody to go to, but this is, you could bring your baby to your 90-year-old grandma and have a good time. Safe environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And guys, the Bakery is one of those. I've been to. J Bomb's been to. I don't know. Have you been to the Bakery yet, Keith?
Never.
June 2nd, you will be there.
The place is amazing, guys. It's one of those venues that, at the beginning, you walk in, you walk in and you don't, there's not much to it. It literally used to be a bakery, right?
Yes, that's actually been a bakery twice.
Yeah, it's a huge factory, and they converted it to this venue. And this place is amazing. It's huge and could be a great thing for the community, especially because it's all ages. But they're not getting very far with a lot of things, guys. And again, it's kind of like this show with our Patreon. None of the money is going to be used to go in anybody's pockets. The money.
Oh.
How dare you say something that might or might not be
I'm just
truthful.
a special guest.
We don't get donations yet, anyways, and you just ruined every bit of it.
Well,
But anyways, no, guys,
it all
seriously.
goes in our VP's pockets.
Yeah, apparently.
I wish.
Wonder where my dues go.
I mean,
Oh,
get back. That's actually been questioned.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's been questioned.
Are-
Sorry.
Really?
That smack was me smacking Gift because.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Wow.
That's another question for another day.
cut
sorry.
that out.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, we'll go there off top.
Yeah, we'll go there off topic sometime. But no, that's 120% a joke.
It's off the record.
Absolutely. Yeah, off the record. That's a podcast too, by the way. It's called Off the Record. But nonetheless, guys, it's a great thing if you would like to donate to the bakery. You can find them on Facebook, I believe. It's just under the bakery.
It's Charleston Artist Collective or the Bakery.
Yeah.
It's on Bigley Avenue in Charleston. I'm terrible with addresses, so.
Yeah, so check them out
Google
if you
your
want to
best
donate to
friend.
them, if you want to support them. They do a lot of great stuff, just like Mountain Arts Democracy, guys. We do a lot of great stuff as well. Is there anything else anybody else had before we decide to close everything out?
What is it? What is today? 10th. Next week, we're doing the podcast for All Things Today. But on Saturday, we will be starting off the Dual Shock Duo podcast. Me and my buddy Jason, we did the
That's right.
Putty Squad podcast with myself, Jason, and then our buddies Aaron, Phil, and James. But stuff got in the way. Just couldn't get all together at one point, and then so. Me and Jason are like the two that can get together easiest and do it. So I thought this would be a cool idea, and we're just going to talk about video games, stuff like that. Specifically PlayStation. We do have other things coming in store for that, so just stay tuned for that. I'll be posting on the KGX3 Facebook page, just facebook.com/KGX3 Productions, and you can find out more from there. I'll be posting more this week about it. And I hope you all enjoy that. And I hope you all enjoy this, too.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be listening to their podcast, guys. I'm a podcast junkie, obviously. I wanted to start this one. But J-Bomb, was there anything else that you had? I know you haven't been able to talk much because you're in a chat with 3 Martins.
There.
No, I'm good right now. Yeah.
Cool, man. I think Sean had one more thing that he wanted to say, and this is... You want me to go for it?
You go ahead, brother.
Okay, so we had... as we were saying before, Mountain Arts Democracy is a family, and we're always here for each other. And one of the things we wanted to go about, I don't even know if, I know Lulu does, that she listens to the podcast. I don't know if the other brothers from the club do as well, but we wanted to say, special condolences from the All Things Today podcast and special guest Sean, to remember the families of Barbara Simpson and Robert Singleton. Guys, just so you know, we do care a lot for you all of our listeners and all of the members of MAD, and especially those of you that lost some special loved ones this week. Special vibes, prayers, thoughts, the whole 9 yards goes out to you guys. Just if you guys need anything, give us a shout. We're all here to help. We're all here as a family to be here for everyone, guys. And I'm pretty much going to leave it at that. Guys, where can they find you all at? Keith?
I mentioned facebook.com/KGX3 Productions, along with youtube.com/KGX3 Productions. Also, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, which I don't use as much, but I'm on there as It's the Putty for both of them.
Awesome. J-Bomb, what about you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jack Hagerman.
That's
I have
with
an
one
email,
G,
but
by the way.
I hardly ever use it. Do what?
That's with one G. I had somebody
Yes, 1G.
ask me the other day. They actually messaged me and said, "Where can I find J-Bomb on Facebook to add him because I can't find him?" And they were typing in Hagerman, Haggg.
Yeah. for all those listeners out there, the best way to, the only way to spell my last name is H.A. German.
The best way.
H.A. German.
H.A. German. H.A. Hot German.
Hot German.
Hot German.
German. Yes.
Awesome.
German.
And Sean, where's the best place for them to find you?
Right here on your sofa.
Right here, right now, on my couch.
You heard that.
You can
Find him here
You can
all
find
the time.
me. You can search Skinner
Every day.
Martin on Facebook. You can also find. I do a lot of the admins on the Mountain Artist Democracy pages. Mountain Artist Democracy at Mountain Artist Democracy on Facebook. We have we do have an Instagram. We have a Twitter. There, it's all Mountain Artist Democracy. You can find our logo, which is Johnny D. It's all over. You can also find Hangman's Ghost at Hangman's Ghost WV on Facebook. It's all one word. There's no big spaces or punctuation properly because I'm a hillbilly and I put it in as one word. So it's at Hangman's Ghost WV. Guys, I want to thank you all once again for having me on here. It's been a blast. I'm kind of a loudmouth and talk a lot.
Oh, it happens.
I haven't dropped any of those bombs that I told you that I possibly would. They're not
F.
J bombs, but they're the other bombs.
The F
But,
ones.
But guys, thank you. This is awesome.
Absolutely. We had a lot of fun, guys. As always, remember to go like our Facebook page at All Things Today -podcast. Go give us a like there. Remember the challenge we have going on. If we get 200 likes and 50 listens of any platform from this episode in 2 weeks' time, myself, Skinner, and I believe J-Bomb will get hashtag chicken in some form, hashtag chicken strip popsicle tattoos. And that's something that Keith's dad put together for us, believe it or not. That is chicken strip popsicle. Yeah, great. But remember that challenge, guys. 200 likes and 50 listens in 2 weeks' time, and we will all end up getting a chicken strip popsicle. Minus Keith. We'll all be getting a chicken strip popsicle. He doesn't. But we do. We'll be getting hashtag chicken strip popsicle tattoos by the end of this year at some point, and we'll post it all up.
What was your other hashtag?
Oh my gosh, what wasn't there?
Rumble Fappers.
Rumble Fappers. There was.
I'm not getting that tattooed. Absolutely will not.
Subscribe to boobies.
But anyways, guys.
If you want to forget that last one, it's fine.
Yeah.
Rumble Fappers and chicken strip popsicle.
For sure. I don't know if it's going to be a new hashtag every week or not. But
No,
like I said,
this week it just kind of happened.
Right.
You're welcome.
But again, guys, make sure to check out our Facebook. If you need to get a hold of me, I'm just on Facebook as Noah Martin. I'm also the creator of the Facebook, so you can get a hold of me through there as well. And remember, guys, you can listen to us on Anchor.fm, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Overcast now, and Apple iTunes Podcast. And we are also on YouTube. All these videos will be uploaded. It's Thursday night as of now, and they will be uploaded tomorrow morning on Friday. So be sure to keep your eyes open for that. But anyways, guys,
He's doing weird stuff, guys.
thank you all so much for joining us today. Remember to check out our Patreon as well, patreon.org/ patreon.com or org. It's Patreon. Search up Patreon.
Patreon.com/
Yeah, it's patreon.com / all things today 304 because we in the 304.
What if it's a .gov?
It's not a .gov.
Is it .net?
They don't want us to have. Ooh, never mind. Almost messed that one up, guys.
Don't forget. Don't forget. Stay metal, man. Oh wait, that's the wrong show.
Sorry, that's the wrong one.
That's my line.
Sorry.
That's my line.
Sorry.
Anyways, guys, again, our special guest artists of the week are Hangman's Ghost, and we have Sean here, aka Skinner, the national VP of Mountain Arts Democracy. So, guys, show him some love, everything like that. Thank you all so much for joining us this week. And remember, again, if you guys want stickers or T-shirts, let us know. We absolutely have to know if you guys want these things done. Hashtag chicken strip popsicle, guys. Always remember that. Keep tagging it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.
Deuces.
Peace.
Later, boys and girls, because we don't discriminate.